guys, welcome back to episode 18 of the Tolan Ticket. Tonight I'm with the priest. I'm the big fella, Tolan Lichty. He is the priest, Justin Price. And where are we tonight, Justin, for episode 18?
We are back at Ugly Joe's off 103rd and, 435 State Line area for some good baseball and hopefully getting some Royals playoff action going on here soon. So
there's small babies everywhere.
Tiny baby.
Oh, that's our waitress right there. We don't know her name. She's wearing a questionable headpiece. I don't like it. All right, we're going to go for the starts right now. Who do you start in week 4, Priest? I'm going to let you start off with your quarterbacks.
I think we both agree here on one. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, Phillip Rivers going against the Jaguars.
No,
32nd ranked defense in pretty much everything. It's just going to be a complete shit show as far as I'm concerned, as Keenan Allen's going to finally break through. There's no running game going on right now, and Donald Brown pretty much didn't produce at all last week, so I anticipate, what do you think, 400 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns?
Jesus.
I think it's going to be a bad
I'll go
game.
300 yards, but still 3+ touchdowns.
3+ touchdowns, 300 yards. Okay, I'll go 300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
How many kids does Phillip Rivers have? That's the question of the week.
He probably has 7.
It's like 7 or 8,
He went
literally.
to North Carolina State, which the Jayhawks, he got humiliated, but in a bowl game, beside the point. So.
He wears overalls and has like 7 kids. What's wrong with you? Big week, though, in store for Phillip Rivers.
True.
Who are your other quarterbacks you got for us?
Let's go with Colin Kaepernick. I feel Harbaugh's really into showing his talents. He's going to... Carlos Hyde and Frank Gore, their production is going
Who do they play this week for the people?
For the people, they're going up against the Eagles. And we saw
that's a big reason why you started.
We saw what Washington did last week against them. So Kirk Cousins just went ape shit. So
their defense is questionable against the Pats.
Correct. So that's all I have for quarterbacks. Just Phillip Rivers a no-brainer, Colin Kaepernick a no-brainer. Keep in mind those bye weeks, baby.
Come on, bye week babies. My bye week player of the week. He's like top 15. Ben Roethlisberger. He's a stud play against the team they're playing against. Who are they playing against? The Bucks. Oh my God.
Yeah, Matt Ryan kind of did his thing.
Yeah, I think Big Ben's gonna have a big day. Not a huge day, maybe 250, 2 touchdowns, but as a bye week replacement.
Is this an occasion where we would probably finally start Marcus Wheaton?
Woo, child! I don't like starting him.
Yeah,
I like it in deeper leagues, like a flex, receiver 3.
I think he's a waiter. He hasn't done crap.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Heath Miller if you're desperate, and then Big Ben this week only. That's my number 2. I got Blake Bortles, though, a sleeper play. I love him in daily leagues this week. He's cheap as hell.
He is.
He's cheap as hell. Oh my God! And who are they playing against this week?
Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers, of course. Yeah, he's cheap as hell. The Chargers' defense is actually good.
They're good. I picked them up.
No, they're decent. They should have a good week this week. I think they have no running game to Jacksonville, so Bortles will have to pass. He'll probably throw 2 or 3 picks. But last week he had 250 passing yards and 2 touchdowns in like a half.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a guy who can air it out. He's a big arm like Roethlisberger. Yep. They got a lot of receivers. I expect 15, 20 points at least. Come on, mama!
That is a questionable buy starter. Obviously you got Peyton Manning, Russell Wilson.
I'm going with Bortles. Yeah, in our league.
The guys like that. You're stuck with the buy. Yeah, you're stuck with somebody on the buy. You need to pick somebody up. Bortles obviously probably available. He'll get you 15 points maybe.
The matchup's not that good.
No.
Chargers.
No,
but I think they're
going to have to come back. So
they're going to air it out.
Yeah,
good receivers too. They're underrated.
Yep.
Running backs. Who do you got for your running backs today? And we'll do starts, then take a little break, and then come back for the sits.
Yeah,
so I got to pee.
I'm going to say Matt Forte. He's a no-brainer, but I feel like he'll finally break through. I own him in a couple leagues, and he's freaking killing me.
Forte.
And I'm finally. I know last year he did amazing. So again, going up against Green Bay this week. You got to start him.
Yeah, don't lose faith in Forte. You said it earlier. Yeah,
I tweeted it earlier. Too early, too soon to give up on Matt Forte.
I still like Matt Forte. Who else do you have here?
I'm going to go with
RB1.
Fred Jackson and C.J. Spiller.
Both Bills running backs.
Both Bills running backs going against the Texans.
Texans defense is kind of formidable.
True. Ironically or not, C.J. Spiller actually has more carries, 37, where Jackson Jackson's got 25, but Jackson I think is getting more production, more fantasy points.
More goal line visits.
More goal line visits, and you know, I'm not sold on the Texans D.
Yeah, look at Rashad Jennings last week.
Exactly.
Shredded them like a schoolgirl bitch's pantyhose.
Perfect example.
Yummy. Is that how your running backs play?
Those are my 2 running backs.
I've got Le'Veon Bell. He's a super stud play. Everyone's going to start him.
Yep.
It's kind of a dumb one.
Exactly.
But with the matchup, Bucks, oh my God. Even though Rainey fumbled twice, he ripped him apart. I think Le'Veon Bell's due for a huge week.
True.
Lamar Miller, he's a little sleeper kind of.
He's actually came on of late. I mean, he didn't get much love coming into the season, but the past couple of weeks he's just exploded.
Well, Moreno Sean
going
too,
down.
exactly. And Oakland's defense is, sweet. Actually, just kidding. Against the run, they're not good.
They're mediocre.
What did I just put here? Man, I just think with Tannehill and Matt Moore, Tannehill's going to start, but still, I think he's going to rely heavily on the running game. Donald Brown's my sleeper play of the week. Not a huge sleeper anymore, but he's still a guy. God bless you.
Not a fan of him. Not even at all.
Like you said last week, he had 37 touches, like 65 total yards. But they're going to have to use him.
They have to. He's the only running back.
They have the rookie, Oliver, right?
I picked him up, and I picked up Sean Drones. I got
picked
2
up
of them.
Oliver?
I picked up Oliver and Drones.
Drone. Yeah, I like Brown way more than Oliver because he can catch the ball too. But who knows? They could use Oliver. I think Brown's the guy super cheap in daily leagues. And if you're desperate, there's a lot worse flexes.
Yeah.
He's going to get the ball a lot, and he's going to have to do better than 65 yards. True. And he will. All right, receivers for week 4. Who do you got? The Priest.
Finally, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you must start the Lions. I got Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson finally doing good. I think so. I mean, go
against Carolina?
The Jets.
Oh, the Jets. Just kidding. You're right. No, they play the Jets.
Yeah, they've given up the most points to opposing wide receivers so far. You have to start them.
You do. I think Calvin Johnson, too, is back-to-back weeks without a big game.
He's due. Actually, it's every other game. From my calculations, I did a little research on that.
True. He had a good game last week.
Yeah, every other game he's been producing, and last week was his off week, so I expect a big one.
Golden Tate's done nothing all year, so he's got to be due.
He's done nothing, but he's been solid. I think about 7 or 8 fantasy points every single week.
Yeah, he's got, If you play point per reception, he's got about 50 yards every week. All right, who else we got of receivers?
I'm going to go with Macklin. I mean, my honest opinion is contract year. Love it.
He's become a must-start, though.
He's had 3 straight 10-plus fantasy weeks. He's a must-start. I mean, no longer considered the Missouri product this flex option. He's your number 2, if not your number 1.
And Riley Cooper's out of there now.
Riley Cooper's gone. LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles. I mean, it's
Macklin's getting all the team looks. Jordan Matthews had a couple touchdowns last week, but that's not going to happen every week.
Yeah,
even though he is
the new rookie. So
the new rookie. Any other receivers for you, Big
That's all I got. The 2.
All right, my man. I got Alshon Jeffrey this week. The main thing, just like Pierre Garçon last week, he doesn't have a great matchup. He does have a hamstring injury, but just like Garçon last week, he's due, and I envision him finding the end zone. And I was right too much last week with Garçon.
And obviously, you could tell Marshall was a little hobbled.
Exactly. He's hampered still.
He's probably going to play at 80%. He'll be back. I'm still starting him, but you got to start him.
Yeah, and a week coming off Martellus Bennett's 2 touchdowns. Marshall, you said was hampered. He's due as hell, and I've seen him in the future scoring.
True.
Julian Edelman, he plays the Chiefs. Edelman, a points per reception guy.
Got him in my daily league. Super cheap.
Get him. He's going to have at least 6-7 catches.
I'm the Chiefs insider, and I'll tell you right now, our secondary is absolutely atrocious, okay? And Tom Brady's going to pick us apart. It's going to be a bad, rough Monday night.
Hey, Brady's been bad all year. I keep picking him to start, and I finally said, don't start him this week, but he'll probably break out.
No, he's going to break out. I picked him up in the PPRs. Not PPRs, but the daily leagues. So
Edelman is the only guy achieving and performing outside of Gronkowski in New England, so look for Edelman to continue that. Cecil Short's my last receiver for the Jaguars. He's the man. Allen Robinson is good. He's the man, though.
I have him on my sit list. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, a sit list. But, okay, he finally played last week for the first time. Bortles found him almost instantly for a touchdown. I think he'll be his favorite target outside of maybe Allen Robinson, who I love this week, too, as a great sleeper. But Jaguars receivers against the Chargers, even against Brandon Flowers, I think we'll find success. We'll talk about that later.
The Chiefs. All right, so I'm going to go to tight ends here. I'm going to go back to that Jaguars game with Anzalone Antonio Gates. He didn't do so hot last week, but obviously it's a no-brainer going up against that horrible, horrible Jaguars defense. And again, Jimmy Graham, obviously he's a must-start. He's been off and on all year.
Jimmy!
I have him too. I drafted him in the 5th pick overall.
But he's a due as well. Back-to-back weeks.
Kind of feeling a little bad on that, but I feel like he is due. He's due. Going up against the Cowboys D, so
he is due. Colson had a touchdown last week, so this is Graham's time.
Yeah, I'm thinking Graham's 26 points. Lock it.
Oh, Jesus. Lock it and load it, sugar tits. All right, I got Greg Olson right now, my stud play for the week. Cam Newton loves him. This guy's become the new Jimmy Graham. I mean, you take away, if you replace his name with Jimmy Graham's last year, I don't know. His projections look good, though.
He's the ageless white old man wonder of Carolina.
He's like 29, but he's still getting a little older. He's getting up there. We'll look that up.
He needs some real game.
Yeah. I think Olsen, though, he's had a touchdown every other week, basically. He just continues to do well and impress me. Owen Daniels, my big sleeper this week, with Pitta out. How do you feel about that? You lost Pitta in one of your leagues, Bryce.
I've lost a lot of guys to injuries this year, and it's struggling. And Dennis, the thing is, I think Owen Daniels is going to have some value, but I think you're going to see a lot more targets towards Torrey Smith as well.
Smith and Steve Smith.
Yeah.
And even Marlon Brown. I think Owen Daniels, though, still is he was, I would say, not ownable.
The best friend?
Until this week.
Quarterback's best friend.
Exactly. But now with Pitta out, I say someone's got Owen Daniels in every league. And I'd say starting this week with all the tight ends on bye weeks like Julius Thomas. The Royals looking good.
The Royals may
turn that thing back on.
The Royals may have just got themselves a W.
Do you have any defenses or kickers this
week? You know
week?
how I am with defense and kickers.
He says stream them and fuck them.
You stream them, you fuck them, you play the best matchup.
Out. And I usually say it too, but excuse me, I'm burping everywhere. Yeah, for those of you who need like a guy on a daily league, the Texans this week are actually kind of cheap against the Bills. And the Bills are going to be without Robert Woods. They have Mike Williams, Watkins, and they got 2 running backs. I mean, at best, they're going to score like 24.7 points. Texans look like a safe pick. They're going to skid to the quarterback. They sucked last week, but hey, that's why they're cheap this week.
Now, come on now. This is hurting my CJ Fred Jackson stardom here.
I think they can spell the big game, but that won't matter.
Let's shut out the passing game, pick off EJ Manuel a couple times.
I think that's exactly. Okay. Yeah, maybe a pick 6, couple fumbles, maybe a couple picks. Come on now. Jonathan Joseph.
I can get on board with a little Jonathan Joseph.
I'm not a big Texans fan, but that's if you're like streaming and you don't know how to have it this week. Janikowski's my big play this week. Who's he going against? I had a reason for him.
Oakland. Oakland is going up against...
it doesn't matter. I just said start him. We talked about it earlier, actually. We alluded to it earlier. One of my players, Lamar Miller. Yeah, the Raiders and Dolphins. Yeah, against the Dolphins, they're going to have to score somehow. The Raiders rarely score, but they will. The priest is going to go pee, so I'm going to close things out here. Definitely start Janikowski. My last 3 kickers I've picked have all had 10-plus point games. You need to start Janikowski in your daily leagues and stop questioning me. That's all for Ticket 1 starts. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with Ticket 2. Who do you sit in Week 4 on the Tolan Ticket? Welcome back to the Tolan Ticket. This is Ticket 2, sits for Week 4, Episode 18, here live at Ugly Joe's. I am Tolan Lichty. I am the big fella, alongside my co-host Justin Price, the priest.
Right, all right.
He's going to start us off here today with quarterbacks you should sit in Week 4.
All right, my first one's going to come as a shocker. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck. I'm not suggesting you should sit him by any means whatsoever.
Good call.
I'm just saying he's not going to score 25-plus points again. The Titans' defense is only allowed...
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. So, a sweet cold brew.
Yeah, the Titans'
favorite woman.
The Titans' defense is only allowed 10 points to opposing quarterbacks this year, okay? Yeah, they've gone against Alex Smith, Tony Romo, and Andy Dalton, but I don't... The Colts don't have an elite receiver, so I don't anticipate him to put up 25-plus points again. I'm thinking low 20s, high teens.
Yeah, Hilton's a little hobbled, they say, coming into it.
Yeah.
He finally practiced today, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Reggie Wayne still hasn't had a big game all year.
And they don't even have a solid run game. I mean,
And he still has great numbers.
And somehow
but
he does it. It's just shocking.
You respect Tennessee.
Yes, I respect Tennessee's ability to
their defense.
shut the corner down.
There you go.
All right, and then this is going to be a play on the bye week options that are available to you guys. If you have Russell Wilson or Peyton Manning or even Carson Palmer or somebody like that that's in a bye, but sit Alex Smith, sit Geno Smith, and sit Ryan Tannehill. All of them are pretty much going against the Patriots, which have allowed less than 12 points.
And the touchdowns all year.
The Lions have allowed less than 12 points to opposing quarterbacks, and so have the Raiders. Okay, so it says
the Raiders' defense impressive. That's
the Raiders' defense. The stats, if you read the stats, is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah,
but they win. They're this year's scrappy ass team, I think.
Well, their offense sucks. That's probably the reason they're losing.
But lots of journeymen. Lots of journeymen.
So, area on my way.
So we'll segue back to our starts. If you can pick up Bortles, that's your bye week option.
Okay.
Don't touch Alex Smith. Don't touch Geno Smith. Don't touch Ryan Tannehill.
Avoid them at all costs. Get a guy like Blake Bortles. Take a chance.
Take a chance.
And we share the same thoughts on Geno Smith. He's my super high risk play of the week. I have him. Actually, I don't have him anymore. I had him in one league. Dropped him for Bortles.
You did.
I don't like Geno. The Lions' pass defense is actually great.
But you wouldn't have started him anyway, so.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have. Well, I was considering it, but he had 331 yards last week, but so Geno Smith mentioned. Jay Cutler's my moderate risk guy. The Packers' pass defense is actually really good. They're top 10 right now. And they've actually been playing really well. Russell Wilson's the only guy who's shredded them all year. But they're getting shredded by the run, so look at Forte to break out.
We got Forte on the start list.
Boom, boom, boom.
Everything segues into another thing, so pay attention to our stats, trust us, and you will win your matchup.
And with Marshall and Jeffrey being hurt a little bit, Cutler's kind of a scary start, even though I'm starting him in a couple leagues.
But I think
I have no choice.
Forte in the PPR leagues, though.
Yeah, Forte will get a lot of catches. He can still get a lot of catches. Even Sean Drone can get a couple catches.
True.
But yeah, so
Sean Drone doesn't play for them.
Yes, Drone is the guy. He's their backup.
Got picked up by the Chargers.
Drone is, I promise you, Drone's the backup.
We'll talk about that.
You said to start him this week.
We'll talk about that later.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
All right,
not Sean Drone. I don't know. I forgot his first name.
Ruben?
No, not Ruben Drone. He's been retired for like 5 years. God damn it! It is Sean Drone. Look it up. All right, Cam Newton knows my last quarterback to sit this week. Super high risk. The Ravens defense only giving up 2 passing touchdowns all season. Jesus, watch out! You look up that Drone shit. Just type in Drone. So yeah, don't start Cam Newton. He's still banged up. His receivers aren't 100%. Even Olsen's hampered this week. He's been missing practice. I don't like that. Want me to go with the running backs now? I'm going to go with the running backs really quick while the priest looks up Sean Drone and his Bears status. First, though, I have sit all the Ravens running backs. Right now they say Pierce is coming back. He's healthy. Talaferro's healthy. And Forset's healthy. I figure they're going to give Pierce the first shot. If he sucks, they'll give it to Talaferro. And Forset will be like a change of pace, third down back. Either way, I don't want any part of that. The only reason you start them is in a deep league. Sean Drone signed a 1-year contract with the Chargers
on Tuesday.
So who's the backup for
Forte?
Yeah. Oh no, that's why you like him as a start. Okay, he was for the Bears. They just signed him.
Yes.
Okay, so you're right. Sorry about that. Sean Drone. That's why the priest likes him.
That's why I'm saying Donald Brown is on his way out due to that horrible performance last week, and I think he's going to do it again.
I get
even
it
though
now.
they're playing against the Jaguars.
I thought you thought I was a separate person.
No.
You're right, and I was wrong. Sorry about that. So Sean Drone, I wouldn't start him just yet, though. For the love of God, don't start him. But watch what happens in San Diego, I guess.
Keep him on your bench.
Yeah. So Ravens running backs, I don't want any part of them. Even if you have a bye week issue.
There's like 3 viable options there, and you don't know who's injured, you don't know who's starting.
Exactly. We talked about it. Yeah. So it's just too risky right now. Who's going to have the big week? The Lions this week against the Jets, number 1 ranked rushing defense. I don't like Bush or Bell. Bell's coming off injury. Bush has sucked all year outside of one great pass play. I don't trust either of them. I mean, you may have to do it because of bye weeks. I think I'm starting Joyce Bell in one league, but I have like 3 guys on bye.
You're forced on the bye week.
Harris West. I have a bunch of guys on bye, but I don't like either of those starts. Arian Foster, my last one. He's probably not going to play, honestly, because his hamstring's still hurting.
So if you got Blue, pop him in there.
You're my boy, Blue!
Alfred Blue.
Come on, Alfred. Got what? 2 stupid names in a row. But no, Arian Foster. You can't. If he plays, start him. Yeah, right.
No, without a doubt.
But don't expect the monster Arian Foster week, especially against a good Buffalo defense.
All right, so my running backs real quick. I'm going to go with the Jets. I got Chris Johnson and Chris Ivory. Detroit Lions front 7 is downright disgusting, in my opinion. I don't know the stats on that. They've held opposing running backs to 12 points as a team. Okay,
per game.
So per game. So if you have one of these dudes, you know they're splitting carries. So you know the most they would even get possibly is about 12. Well, here's the thing: if they're splitting carries, the odds are they get 12. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And if you're going to start one, I could start Ivory.
If you're going to start one, Ivory's the goal line back. Chris Johnson, 2K, J5, 6'5", P.
CJ2K.
Way to go, that guy.
I don't like him anymore. I watched it. And Ivory had 6 catches last game. They're passing Ivory more than they are CJ2K. So I think Ivory's the main man in New York now.
No flex play here unless you are on a critical bye week situation.
Boom. Or a 16-man league or something like that.
Trent Richardson.
T-Rich.
We are on the hate train with T-Rich right now. I'm not even going to reiterate the issues. You can watch the prior podcast episodes. He's gotten 5 points week 1, 7.5 points week 2, and last week he got 8 points. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But he's not a starter, in my opinion, unless you have bye week desperations, and we're getting at that time. So
yeah, you may have to use him as like a flex, maybe, but
split with Bradshaw.
Yeah, the good thing is he's guaranteed to give you probably 5 points a game. So yeah, I think Bradshaw's the better back on that team, and it's been proven already.
Yeah,
I'm burping everywhere.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with my wide receivers
you go receivers
here.
first.
I'm going to go Mike Wallace. Only reason the Raiders appear poised for their first win against the Dolphins. That defense surprisingly is actually really good. Surprising statistic: 4th currently to opposing wide receivers, and 1st or 2nd to running backs. So it's going to be a shutdown city.
1st against running back, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to beat them, but their defense is decent.
And they held Tom Brady.
Well, everyone's held Tom Brady so far.
24 completions on 37 attempts for 221 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah, but I mean, Tom Brady's a different story. I don't want to talk about it. I've been supporting him all year, but right now, he might be a backup quarterback in fantasy. I benched him this week for Phillip Rivers. I benched him in a couple leagues.
Phillip Rivers is the start of a lifetime right now. You cannot.
This week, definitely.
Yeah.
But I might do it for the rest of the year.
And then I'm going to argue with you on your start here, Cecil Shorts. I got both the Jaguars here, Shorts and Hearns.
Priest.
The Jaguars are flat out awful. Why did they sign Toby Gerhardt to begin with, is my question. You don't want a white running back.
I thought he would do decent, but he broke down instantly.
You know, he's not what he used to be. Chargers are 7th against wide receivers this year. Again, going with a young, inexperienced quarterback in Bortles, there's no camaraderie. There's no, they haven't made their connections yet. So,
and that is the one scary thing you mentioned it though with Hearns, Robinson, and Shorts.
They're all 1 or 2 year players,
and you don't know which one's going to get the touchdown that week or which one will be looked at more and targeted more often. So with Bortles being new too, who knows? But I see if you have to start any of them. I like Shorts this week. I like Robinson as a sleeper. Jesus, I like both a little bit. But yeah, who knows? Against the Chargers, my bad matchup. Yeah, that's fair. Any more receivers for you, Priest?
Just 2 or 3, I guess.
All right, now I have one Brandon Marshall. You got to start him if he plays, but I watched his ankle last week and he was having trouble moving. So I'm a little nervous. I mean, I'm starting him in a lot of leagues, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get 5 points from him this week, unless he gets a lucky touchdown.
The fantasy Nostradamus knows his facts.
And I'm scared. I've seen the future for Marshall this week. It doesn't look great.
I have Marshall, and it sucks.
He had 6 yards last week. Then I benched him the week before.
He had 6 yards, and I lost to Kenny Harper, actually.
Kenny the Kid. We know him. Everyone knows him. I got Mike Wallace, my moderate risk guy. Again, we talked about it. The Raiders actually have been shredded by number 1 guys. Jordy Nelson, Julian Edelman. They've all had big games. But Tannehill looks like shit. And I don't trust anyone he's throwing to right now.
No.
And if Matt Moore comes in, I trust him even less.
Correct.
So Mike Wallace could be a flex, I guess, but I would be nervous starting him in any daily league. All right, tight end time. It's you, Priest. I only got 2. Oh, no, Eric Decker, too. Sorry. Eric Decker. He might not even play. His hamstring's torn up like shit. He's barely moving out there.
This is a typical product going from the Broncos offense with Peyton Manning going to a crappy-ass quarterback and being unproductive. So, I mean...
I mean,
Geno's
still the most talented guy on that team, though.
No, by far.
Offense,
CG3, dude. Yeah, 75P3, CP30.
Well, at least the receiver.
Yeah.
It's after him, though, it's like Jeremy Curley is...
Like 30?
Curley's not as good, even though Curley had a good week last week. All right, Priest, you want to do tight ends first? Hit us up with your 6.
I only have the one. I have Travis Kelce. You know, I'm a huge KC fan, but the only reason why they're 4th against fantasy tight ends. Again, playing on a Monday Night Football game.
We got him! Royals baseball! Stay focused here in football.
I mean, I just don't foresee much production coming from the Chiefs' offense against the Patriots' defense so far. That's my only thing. Charles is still questionable, but Alex Smith had a huge week last week. Besides that, he's been complete trash, and I don't foresee it continuing. In my honest opinion.
Who?
Travis Kelce.
Oh God, I hope he does well though. I'm starting him in a couple of daily leagues, but it's probably heart over brain.
He's cheap.
Yeah, he's cheap. Exactly.
He's cheap.
Jinx buys beer.
Prove me wrong.
And I think he may, but we're Kansas City homers. So
I have a statue outside my car. I should have brought it in, but
of Travis Kelce without clothes.
Yes, he has clothes on. But it's from the Kansas City Star. It was a paper cutout.
Yeah.
The issue is we weren't doing the actual podcast on video, so I decided not to bring it in this week. So, but I do have it. He will make an appearance at one point.
We're going to show him next week, no matter what. I'll record some stuff when we have to. But we'll put a picture with it this week. I'll put a picture. Yeah, my sits. I like Travis Kelce though, but yeah, this week could be tough against the good linebackers and safeties in New England. Charles Clay, he's not healthy. Read my article this week. He's not walking right. His knee's jacked up. He hasn't had a big game all year, and he's not going to this week.
And he wears number 45. That's not a tight end number. I'm sorry.
We hate that number. That's a fat guy number.
That is a fullback.
Fat fullback.
On the same page tonight.
Corey Fleshinger.
Holy crap.
Jesus. All right. Any Colts tight end? Like I said last week, Fleener was a good start last week. Price called it.
Dude, I pulled that one out of my ass.
Thank
you if you started them. You're welcome.
But I still, with 2 tight ends, they keep switching off the touchdowns. It's confusing me, and I don't want to have to pick one because it hurts my feelings. And they have a good matchup this week, too, so I don't like that. And the Titans, like you said, Michael Griffin and Bernard Pollard, 2 of the best safeties in football. They'll be locked in on those 2 guys all game. I don't like those guys starting. All right, who's next here? Defense and kickers? Well,
I don't know.
Nate Freeze got released yesterday by the Lions, so he was my sit of the week.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he plays for no one now, so don't play him.
Well, he's a rookie, so my opinion on that is I don't think they give him a fair chance. I know it's fucking kickers. They're worth like, what, $400,000 a year. It's trash change to these teams, but the dude, I don't know.
But his replacement, though, is actually good. It's Alex Henry from the Eagles last year.
Former Nebraska product.
Exactly.
I don't know.
He could be a good pickup, actually, if you have a shitty kicker or a questionable kicker, a Prater in a bye week. Alex Henry.
Prater gonna Prate been on, what, 5-week suspension?
Prater gonna Prate! Hey, he's got a strong leg, and they have a good offense. So, well, we thought they did. Lions offense has been struggling. One more before I burp everywhere some more. The Bucs defense. As if anyone had to tell you not to start them. Some people still own them. They're owned like 30% of ESPN leagues.
Okay,
so
first
why?
John Lynch doesn't play there.
John Lynch is gone.
Warren Sapp doesn't play there.
Warren Sapp's
Derek
gone.
Brooks doesn't play there.
They're both in the Hall of Fame.
They're all gone. John Gruden's not their coach. They don't exist. Cut him.
Cut him. Yeah, cut everyone on the Bucs defense, man. They're pathetic, and last week was an embarrassment to humans, I think.
Yeah, the last time that there was an NFL game in the modern era with 50+ points, I can't even come up with it.
On a Thursday, I don't know if I've ever seen one in my life, so it's really disappointing if you're a Bucs fan. Your season's already done, and Lovie Smith, I don't know, man. You need to go find a new offensive coordinator because your offense sucks too.
So let's segue this into a little guy talk.
It's guy stuff time.
I think we need to bash on our two favorite gents real quick here. Johnny Manziel and Trent Richardson. We'll start with Trent Richardson because we kind of already talked about him in my sit list, or shit list, I should say. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He just is unproductive. He's got all these expectations. He's another Alabama boy that comes into the league with all these great hopes, all these... The Browns...
T-Rich.
The Browns...
Eddie Lacy looks a lot like T-Rich.
He does.
He's starting to look like T-Rich, number 2.
But here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
Everybody thinks the Browns were so dumb for trading that. Who'd they get? They got Johnny Manziel. Holy crap.
Jesus.
They got Johnny Manziel with the first-round pick that they got from the Colts. So, I mean, they look like geniuses for trading away Trent Richardson, getting rid of that contract, but then not so much geniuses
for drafting Manziel when they already have a quarterback who can do stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about that horrible play or whatever the
pass
trickery.
To Manziel?
That trickery.
That confused us at home, I'll tell you that.
I just remember on the sideline there, him, the coach, staring at him, going, "Go now, go, and like pointing to take off."
What was the penalty too that negated the play? I totally forgot.
I think it was a holding. It
was some kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
but the fans erupted. I'll tell you that.
And I don't know. And then it turns out the play was actually illegal. He's had to be 5 yards off the sideline. Blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah. But yeah, Johnny Manziel, is he going to touch the field this year as a quarterback? Maybe in wildcat packages only.
He had a couple looks last week before that, but.
Hey, he's got a lot of fantasy expectations that have kind of let us down, but I guess Hoyer looks decent.
That team is surprising some people. They were in that game.
They should have won that game. They were up by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were in that game. They beat the Saints, which ain't much to say this year. So I think it's Hoyer's job.
God damn it.
Hoyer's job. Johnny Manziel is just going to continue to sell jerseys and act like a girl on Snickers commercials.
Snickers commercials, girls with big tits.
Yeah, and then parlay.
We're recording this right next to our girlfriends, by the way, so it's very risky.
Shout out to the ladies.
Ladies, both girls squeal.
Hi. Hey.
There we go. That was actually Justin faking their voices. No, just kidding.
Absolutely.
I think we're good to go here.
Yeah, that's all we have this week. Make sure if you have any questions, send us some tweets, send us some Facebook messages.
I'll put it in.
We'll answer those hard bye-week must-starts.
Yeah, come at us at Twitter at the Tolan Ticket, at youtube.com / the Tolan Ticket, and facebook.com / the Tolan Ticket. This is the priest and the big fella from Ugly Joe's episode 18. Good luck in week 4.
Ow!